memories that stand out while we were growing up on Estabrook Street in San Leandro. And we're fortunate to have some of our oldest neighbors here with us today, the Cerritas. And they were a big surprise to have them here, and I appreciate their coming. We went to McKinley Grammar School, and I remember the big lot that we have on Estabrook Street, and John had to hoe weeds from the vegetable garden that my parents had. Somewhere in this time period, my parents purchased Acme Grocery Store in Alameda. Our mother took care of the store while my father still worked at Freedom's. Around 1952, we moved to Selden Circle, pigeons and all. While my parents were both working, I remember my brother John was responsible for getting me to McKinley School. The school was really close to the high school, within a few steps, mind you. But I ended up in the principal's office many times for being tardy because my big brother could not get me there in time. Do you think that nice hairdo that he always had something to do with it? Our relationship continued to grow as we grew up. My parents were hardworking people, and we learned to work with them. That was our life growing up, so we were together a lot. Following John's graduation from San Leandro High, he attended San Mateo Junior College for a short time. Our sister Julie helped my mother at the grocery store when things got busier. When Julie got married and started her family, John came into the business. Well, John really liked the business, and soon he was making great improvements. This was an important time period for John. Not only was fate bringing him to his future employment, but also to meet his bride, Dixie Lee Ames. We have with us today a longtime family friend, Pete Michaelettis. Pete was there during this time period in Alameda and was a good friend to both Dixie and John. Pete has been, or is still, I should say, the head football coach at Fremont's Kennedy High School for about 45 years. We were fortunate, my brother John, Pete, and I had breakfast together in July during my brother's last visit here to have breakfast. I now would like to introduce Pete Michaelettis to say a few words. Pete?
Thank you very much, Kathy. Kathy didn't say that in July, she said, we are going to get together. John's going to be down. We are going to go to breakfast. And we did. And thank Kathy, thank the Lord that he did get us together there, because at that point we talked about things that nobody else knew about except for John and I, and Kathy got to hear what was going on. I got to thinking about the Paul Rosa family, and my father was very much like Mr. Paul Rosa, who, by the way, told me to call him Frank later on in life. I called him Mr. Paul Rosa. And he, my father would say, now, if you want to see a family, you look down the street, we're in Snell Avenue, where the store is. Now there's a family down there. Man is working another job, getting a business going. His wife's there. Daughter's working. Son's working there. Kathy's a little young. I don't know whether she's working or just hanging around. But my father, that's a family. That's an example. And I always remember that, because those kinds of things are the things that you think about all the time when someone tells you, take a look at something. And that was a Paul Rosa family. John and I, one thing that John had that none of the rest of us had at the time, John Dixie went to elementary school, junior high, where I went to school. And he had the one thing that the rest of us wanted. He had his own car. So that meant on Friday and Saturday nights, guess what? John would take us to wherever we happened to go. Just get transferred over to Dixie for a second. Right there at that doorway there, when we came for Dixie's memorial service, John says, "We're never going to forget going to school." And we won't. Many times John used to come down there on his lunch break with his apron on, and we would play touch football on the playground there at Corner School. Well, you have to understand now, Dixie lived about 4 or 5 houses down from me. Dixie was a very beautiful young lady, and we were in the same grade. But being the shy person that I was, I always thought, wow, it'd be nice to ask Dixie out or something. But I was shy and couldn't do it. So I kept thinking, well, this would be a fairy tale. You know, the boy down the street marries the girl down the street, that thing. So here's the reason why I'm getting this up and back to John's car. Is because one Friday night, John said, "Oh, I've got something to do with the family, so I can't go out with you guys." "John, you've got the car. You have to go out." "No, sorry guys, I got something with the family." So I went down and got my dad's 47 Ford, and we all jumped into that. Went ahead and did what we normally do on Friday nights. Go to the Paramount Theater. Everything ended up in the Plaza Drive-In down at Lake Merritt. You can look over there, you know what that is, I'm sure. So we got out of the car, and I looked over and I thought, there's John's car. Now wait a minute, I don't think he brought his family. So I took a walk and I got closer and closer to the car. Pretty soon I saw there was a young lady in the car. And lo and behold, as soon as I got there, guess who was there? Dixie. So that ended the boy down the street story. John was a great guy. And I do remember this, and then I've told his brother-in-law, John Boas, this story. You know, when we'd go out, he'd sit there sometimes and start his car. I said, "Okay, John, are we going to leave?" You always let the car warm up. You let the oils go through and do whatever carburetors have to do or whatever. And then you go ahead and start. To this day, I'll tell you, when I get in the car, sometimes in a cold morning, I do remember John Paparosa telling me, let the oils go through the car, let things go, whatever happens, and drive on. In our church, we have a saying that, not a saying, but a tradition where we say after a person's passed away, may his memories be eternal